And to start this project, you're going to need a project box from Radio Shack. You can get this for $3.99. And you'll also need a little mini motor, which is right here. You can purchase that at Radio Shack for $3.19. And we went ahead and super glued it just a little bit, just to hold it in place to see where we wanted to mark it. And then to speed the process up a little bit, we're just going to take the blow dryer on cool and blow it dry. Alright, and when you're super gluing the motor down, be careful not to get any super glue into the motor because it will kill it and you've just wasted your money. And then also try to remember the fact that once you got your motor glued down, you want to make sure your wires don't come tangled into the spinny part. Don't you love that definition, spinny part? But and then right here we've already put some magnets onto the motor. These are rare earth magnets. They're just little magnet balls because in my town we could not find any of the circular rare earth magnets with the hole in the middle, and we already had these laying around. So what we did was we put 4 down the bottom and then we put 1 on top, and when it spins it will make that magnetic field. Another part of this project that you're going to need is a battery pack. This can be purchased at Radio Shack. Now, in some videos that I've watched, the people have purchased a separate toggle switch to turn the power on and off. The one that I got actually has an on-off power switch, and this one was $1.99. Now, you're going to have to screw down the battery pack to your project box, and when doing this, you want to keep in mind that you want to keep all the wires away from your motor. Because if the wires get caught in there, your motor will fry and you will just have a dead project. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for the location of the spot to screw in the battery pack. And the reason why we chose to hand screw is because the box is made out of plastic, and when you're using a regular drill, there's always a chance of something can happen. You can crack the box, and then it becomes obsolete. You can't really use it. So that's the reason why we chose to hand drill. By all means, if you feel comfortable drilling, then knock yourself out. And right now we're just running the wires into the box. And we know that the wires are too long, so we know we're going to have to trim them. So right now we're just measuring to see how much we're going to have to trim off the wires. And another thing I would just want to note, do you see how the battery pack already has a little screw hole? Now we're just going to utilize that screw hole, mark it on the actual project box, and drill a hole there so we can secure it with a screw. And if you think that that's not secure enough, if you're going to be actually rough and rugged with it, now the purpose of this is an EM pump. You set it down, you leave it alone. But if you're going to be moving it around, jumbling it, then I would go ahead and put an extra screw hole right in here, and then mark it on the project box and go ahead and just have 2 screws to hold it down and secure it instead of just the one. So now we're just securing the battery pack to the project box with a single screw. Alright, now that the battery pack is in place, what we're going to do is rerun the wires again just to check for distance. And I just want to state that with this method, this is like the non-soldering method. You do not have to solder anything if you do it this way. And I told you guys earlier you can purchase this motor at Radio Shack. This motor, however, did not come from Radio Shack. It came out of my friend Brandy's son's Connects. It's actually the roller coaster motor, and since it already had the wires coming to it, we just decided to leave the wires there, so that way we can run the black and red on the inside and just electrical tape them. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, so what we've done now is we've taken the wires, and on the motor itself, the white is the positive and the green is the neutral. And of course, on normal appliances, the red is always the positive, which is the power, and the black is the neutral or the ground. So we've went ahead and taken the white to the red and then the green to the black. And then what we're going to do next is just, okay, so actually, since now that we've got them wired together, we're going to figure out the placement for my LED lamp, just so that we know that the machine is actually running, because it's supposed to be really quiet. And just a little FYI, guys, if you guys decide to buy LEDs, these can be purchased at Radio Shack, and this was $1.99 for a 2-pack, and I chose red. And as you're looking at them, do you see how one side is longer than the other? The longer side is the positive and the shorter is the negative. Okay, we've now chosen our placement for the LED, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to apply like maybe 2 drops of super glue to the actual like red part, and just set it down so that way it can adhere to the project box. Okay, now as you can see, we have the LED wires hooked up to the battery pack and the motor, so that way it all gets its power from the battery pack at the same time. Alright, now that we have everything secured with the electrical tape, we're going to put in the batteries and see if it works.